Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jayo Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jayo Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Vande Guru Nisha Bhakta Nisha Nisha Avtarakan Tat Prakasham Tat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Sangyakam Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahoditau Gauradaye Pushpavanatau Chitrau Sandau Tamonudau Granthera Arambha Kori Mangalacharana Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Tinira Smarana Hoya Vighana Vinashana Anayasa Sapal Nija Vanchita Purana Jaya Jaya Kripamoy Jagatera Nath Sarva Jagatera Kuru Shubhadrishtipat Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Shri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Ara Asha Caitanya-caritāmṛta Kahe Krishna Dasa. Hare Kṛṣṇa, dear worshipable devotees, thank you again for joining. We are reading the most sweetest of all transcendental literatures, and that is Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Adi Lila, chapter 4. We read till text number 59 last time. And now we are talking about whom? Shri Radha and Krishna. Because Sri Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami mentioned, if one understands the position of Shri Radha and Krishna, then one will understand Lord Chaitanya, because Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahi Anya. Radha Krishna Ek Atma Duhi Dehadhari Anyonena Vilase Rasa Aswadana Puri. To experience that transcendental rasa, the Ek Atma took two deha, two forms as Radha and Krishna. So let's study. And we were yesterday, Her Grace Nandini Mataji mentioned that Sri Prabhu asked a wonderful question, that what Shakti is Radha Rani, or what Tattva? So Vishnu Tattva, Jiva Tattva, Shiva Tattva. So Prabhupada mentions Shakti Tattva, Ladini Shakti. So let's read more about Shri Radha's position, text number 60. Ladini Karava Krishne Ananda Swadana Ladinira Dvara Kare Bhaktera Poshana. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. The Ladini energy gives Krishna pleasure and nourishes his devotees. Purport. Srila Jiva Goswami has elaborately discussed the Ladini potency in his Priti Sandarbha. He says that the Vedas clearly state only devotional service can lead one to the personality of Godhead. Only devotional service can help a devotee meet the Supreme Lord face to face. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is attracted by devotional service, and as such, the ultimate supremacy of Vedic knowledge rests in knowing the science of devotional service. What is the particular attraction that makes the Supreme Lord enthusiastic to accept devotional service? And what is the nature of such service? The Vedic scriptures inform us that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth, is self-sufficient, and that Maya, nescience, can never influence him at all. Therefore, the potency that overcomes the Supreme must be purely spiritual. Such a potency cannot be anything of the material manifestation. The bliss enjoyed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be anything of material composition, like the impersonalist conception of bliss of Brahman. Devotional service is the reciprocation between two, and therefore it cannot be located simply within one's self. Therefore, the bliss of the self-realization, Brahmananda, cannot be equated with devotional service. It's a long purport, so maybe Karina Mataji can read the next half.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead has three kinds of internal potency, namely the Halandini Sakti or pleasure potency, the Sadhani Sakti or existential potency, and the Samvit Sakti or cognitive potency. In the Vishnu Purana, the Lord is addressed as follows: O Lord, you are the support of everything. The three attributes Halandini, Sandhini, and Samvit exist in you as one spiritual energy, but the material modes which cause happiness, misery, and mixture of the two does not exist in you. For you have no material qualities. Do I keep going, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Okay. Hladini is the personal manifestation of the blissful of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by which he enjoys pleasure. Because the pleasure potency is
Perpetually
present in the Supreme Lord, the theory of the impersonalist that the Lord appears in the material mode of goodness cannot be accepted. The impersonalist conclusion is against the Vedic version that the Lord possesses a transcendental pleasure potency. When the pleasure potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is exhibited by His grace in the person of a devotee, that manifestation is called love of God. Love of God is an epithet of the pleasure potency of the Lord. Therefore, devotional service
reciprocated
between the Lord and his devotee as an exhibition of the transcendental pleasure of the Lord.
Read again the potency.
Okay. The potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead that always enriches him with transcendental bliss is not material. Some have accepted it as such because they are ignorant of the identity of the Supreme Lord and his pleasure potency. Those ignorant persons can't understand the distinction between impersonal spiritual bliss and the variegateness of the spiritual pleasure potency. The Hladini potency gives the Lord all transcendental pleasure, and the Lord bestows such a potency upon his pure devotee. Hare Kṛṣṇa. Back to you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Karna Mataji. So the energy which gives Krishna pleasure and which nourishes the devotee. That's the Ladini potency or the Ladini, the energy. Pralad, Dadaini, the one who gives pleasure to Pralad. We do speak in the nourishing arti prayers as well. So the three energies, internal energies, are discussed also in multiple verses. Swarupa Shakti, Bhaktera Poshana. Poshan means nourishment, Poshana, Palana, etc. Gopal, one who protects or nourishes the cows and the senses. So a very interesting definition is given that the potency that overcomes the Supreme Lord must be purely spiritual. Because Maya cannot influence him at all. It's a very nice one. Sometimes even the Lord is overcome in this transcendental state, like He forgets I am a friend of, or he forgets I'm the Supreme Lord. The internal potency covers the Lord also. But it's not a material potency. It's not a material energy. We get covered by the material energy. Lust, anger, greed, envy, pride, illusion, the three modes, etc. But the Supreme Lord is not covered. It is his energy. But to enjoy the pastimes, sometimes the Yoga Maya may make all the pure devotees like Mata Yashoda forget that my child is a Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's why the special arrangement of this internal energy. The manifestation of the blissfulness, very interesting. When the pleasure potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is exhibited by His grace in the person of a devotee, that manifestation is called love of Godhead. So the definition of love of Godhead. So when that supreme pleasure potency is exhibited by the grace of the Lord, and how it will be exhibited? Only devotional service can help a devotee meet the Supreme Lord face to face. I really like this line. We can meditate upon this. The only devotional service can lead one to the personality of Godhead. One can meet the Lord face to face. True. The Lord is attracted to devotional service. Bhaktyamam abhijananti. So many verses are there. Not on the knowledge, not on some tapa, but on the bhakti. And that's what we are doing, right? The different limbs of bhakti. Right? What are the 9 limbs of bhakti, Karina? As per Prahlad Maharaj. You know the 9 limbs, Karina?
No, Prabhuji. I forgot.
Ishan, you know?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay. Who amongst any other children who know this? The 9 limbs of bhakti as per Prahlad Maharaj? Sampada Mataji, you know?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay, I think Vijaya Mataji was telling.
Sravanam Kirtanam.
Next.
Vishnu.
Yes. What else?
Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam.
Sakhyam.
Atmanivedanam. Vandanam. Archanam. Sakhyam. I think I did 9. Dasyam.
Nice. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakhyam Atmanivedanam. This is a very, very famous verse. We all should try to learn this very important verse. Spoken by Prabhupada multiple times. So by this devotional service, one can see the Lord face to face. And Prabhupada has given us all the things we do, or a devotee is expected to do, includes all these things: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, reading, hearing, chanting, taking prasad, doing festivals, serving Vaishnava, serving Guru. All these are basically 9 limbs of bhakti, memorizing verses. These are all bhakti. Serving, distributing Harinam, Prasadam, books, etc. They're all the limbs of bhakti. So one can see Krishna face to face. One will get love of Godhead. So I can try to learn this. Okay, Anishan and Sampada Mataji also try. Okay, let's read the next one. Those who didn't get a chance yesterday, maybe can read this verse 61.
Prabhuji, can I read?
Sure, Prabhu. Go ahead, Ishan.
Satchidananda Purna Krishna Nera Swarupa Eka Ichik Shakti Tandra Dharetina Rupa. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Krishna's body is eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss. His one spiritual energy manifests three forms. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Prabhuji, back to you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Ishan, you can read Bengali?
No, Prabhuji.
Hare Baba, you should learn. If you don't learn with Bengali background, then your children will not be able to even speak Bengali if you maintain your language. Okay? You know how to speak and understand. You should be able to learn also, write, read and write also. We should teach our kids the native languages for reading, writing, understanding. Bengali is a very sweet language. It's all our Gaudiya Vaishnava bhajans are in Bengali only actually. Right? Ratandas Thakur, Bhakti Thakur. Try to learn. You already have that background. Try to. It will help you.
Prabhuji, I can understand Bengali, but I can't read it.
That's what I'm saying, beta. Try to learn to read it and write it also. I know you need to know how to speak and understand, but reading and writing is also very good. Will help you. Okay. Right. It's doable. So one spiritual energy manifests in three forms. Satchid Ananda. Basically, we discussed this, the Radhini, some Sandhini, and some with Shakti. So no purport. So we'll move on to the next verse, which has a very long purport. So maybe 3-4 devotees can read some 1 or 2 paragraphs each. So let's start with text 62.
Prabhuji, can I read?
Yeah, sure, please.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thanks a lot. Anandamse Hiladini, Sad Amse Sadini, Chit Amse Samir, Yare Janana Karimani, Karimani. Translation, Prabhu. Hiladini is aspect of bliss, Sandini of eternal existence, and Samvid of cognizance, which is also accepted as knowledge. Purport in his thesis Bhāgavata-sevayā, Srila Jiva Goswami explained potencies of the Lord as follows. The transcendental potency of the Supreme, can I see after that, Prabhu? Move upward, Prabhu. The transcendental potency of the Supreme. After that, move up, Prabhu. Yes.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead.
By which he maintains his existence is called Sandini. The transcendental potency by which he knows himself and cause. After that, can I see the words? Causes. Sami, the transcendental potency by which he possesses transcendental bliss and cause the devotees to have bliss is called Hiladini. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Yeah, I think, is this the Zoom thing affecting that, or I don't know what's going on with the G. You can move that actually on your phone or whatever gadget you're using. You can move that and put it up on top, because I don't control that. It's beyond my control. I understand the last. You can move that thing.
The total exhibitions of these potencies is called Visiddhata Sattva, and this platform of spiritual variegatedness is displayed even the material world when the Lord appears here. The pastimes and manifestations of the material world are therefore not at all material. They belong to the pure
Transcendental state.
appearance and disciplines becomes eligible for freedom from material bondage upon
Quitting the present material.
the Bhagavatam confirms that anyone who understands the transcendental natures of the Lord's appearance, activities, and disciplines become eligible for freedom from material bondage upon quitting the present material tabernacle. We can enter the spiritual kingdom associated with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and reciprocate the Hiladani potency in transactions between him and the Lord. In the mundane mode of goodness, there are tinges of passion and ignorance. Therefore, mundane goodness being mixed is called Mishra Sattva. But the transcendental variegatedness of Visiddhata Sattva is completely free from all mundane.
Qualities.
Potency directly by the power of the sattvic potencies. The material modes of nature control the conditions souls, but the personality of God is never influenced. God is never influenced by those modes, as all the Vedic personality of God is never influenced by those modes, as all Vedic. Sorry, Prabhu, I cannot move up. I'm trying my best, cannot move up.
Up or sorry, Mataji, I'm getting a little lost. Where are you reading? I'll cover up for you, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Okay. Start from the material modes, Prabhu.
Sure. We'll wait for that. No worries, Mataji. Thank you so much. So, Hare Kṛṣṇa. Thank you, Mataji. So I think very important point here is the Mishra. Mishra is mixed. We read about the Mishra Sattva and the Vishuddha Sattva. In the material world, things are mixed with the dualities. Even the so-called love, there is some hidden agenda. Even the parents, their love is compared to be true, but there's still a lot of expectation that my child will go big, my child will serve me later, my child will be a great engineer, doctor, lawyer, whatever, will be my budhape ki lathi, my stick for old age. Expectation is there. So it's Mishra. Mishra Sattva. Mundane goodness is mixed with Mishra Sattva. But the transcendental variegatedness is free of all those. And if that's what we see in the gopis' love, they are willing to go to any extent to give pleasure to Krishna. This is Vishuddha Sattva. Completely free from all mundane qualities. Desire, profit, fame, lust, envy, greed. The only intention is to give pleasure. The Lord and his devotees simultaneously perceive the Ladini potency directly by the power of Samvit potency. So what is the Samvit potency? The knowledge potency, right? Or Chit potency. So, any other comments? Okay. He knows himself and causes others to know him. That's Samvit potency. So just a quick definition. The Sandhini is existential potency, or Sat potency. The Lord's potency, in which he knows himself and causes others to know him, is Samvit. And the pleasure potency is, which gives transcendental bliss and causes devotees to have bliss, is Ladini potency. So how the devotees perceive that bliss? By the power of Samvit. Basically, they're all the internal energies, but interacting with each other to give pleasure to the Lord and the devotees. So the detailed purport is there. So let's continue to read this. Anyone else wants to read the next? Yes, Prabhu, you want to?
Thank you, Guruji. How is Prabhupada? The metal modes of nature control the conditioned souls, but the Supreme Personal Godhead is never influenced by these modes, as all Vedic literatures directly and indirectly corroborate. Lord Krishna himself says in the 11th chapter of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 11:25-12, Sattam rajas tamo iti guna jivasya noivame. The metal modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance are connected with the conditioned souls, but never with me, the Supreme Personal Godhead. The Vishnu Purana confirms this as follows: Sattadayo no sanniteshe yatra no prakrito guna sa shuddho sarvo shuddhe bhayo human adhayo prasidato. The Supreme Personal Godhead Vishnu is beyond the three qualities goodness, passion, and ignorance. No metal qualities exist in him. May that original person, Narayan, who is situated in the completely transcendental position, be placed with us. In the 10th canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 10:27-4, Indra praises Krishna as follows: Vishuddha Sattam Tavo Dhamo Sanatam Shantam Tapo Mayam Deshto Rajas Tamaskam Maya Mayo Ayam Guno Samprabhavo Na Vidhotete Grahano Vanu Bandha. My dear Lord, your abode is Vishuddha Sattva, always undisturbed by the material qualities and the activities that are in transcendental loving service unto your feet. The goodness, austerity, and penance of the devotee enhance such activities, which are always free from contamination of the passion and ignorance. Material qualities cannot touch you under the circumstances. So, Prabhuji, as we know that spiritual world and Vishnu Tattva, this is the Shuddha Sattva platform. But in the material world, until you become a pure devotee, even you have a mode of goodness, but this is always mixed with Raja or Tamo. But once we're at the transcendental level, that is fully Shuddha Sattva. And that is level of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Back to Prabhuji. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Yes, let's read the next 1 or 2 paragraphs. Anyone wants to read? Nandini Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. I started the absolute truth or the next paragraph. Each of 3, sorry.
When not manifested, Mataji.
Oh, sorry, my. When not manifested, the modes of material nature are said to be in the goodness. When they are externally manifested and active in producing the varieties of material existence, they are said to be in passion. And when there is a lack of activity and variegatedness, they are said to be in ignorance. In other words, the pensive mode of goodness, activity, the pensive mood is goodness, activity is passion, and inactivity is ignorance. Above all these mundane qualities, qualitative manifestation is Vishuddha Sattva. When it is predominated by the Sandhini potency, it is perceivable as the existence of all that be. When predominated by the Samvit potency, it is perceived as knowledge in transcendence. And when predominated by Ladini potency, it is perceived as the most confidential love of Godhead. Vishuddha Sattva, the simultaneous manifestation of these 3 in one, is the main feature of the kingdom of God. Dandavat Pranam, devotees, or Krishna Srila Prabhupada. So we are seeing like 3, to me it feels that these 3 are connected to Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Buddhi Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. The Ladini Shakti seems to be connected in the way it is stated. It seems to be connected with Bhakti Yoga, and the knowledge potency, Samvit, is seem to be connected with Jnana Yoga, like that. Prabhu, please add or correct. Thank you so much. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Hare Kṛṣṇa. Teji, thank you so much. Just feel that this is a very high topic and I don't have any additional comments. So we'll continue reading. Anyone wants to read the last 2 paragraphs? Yes, Ramohan Prabhu, please.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Dandavat Pranam, or glory to Srila Prabhupada. The absolute truth is therefore the substance of reality, eternally manifests 3 energies. The manifestation of the internal energy of the Lord is the inconceivable, variegated spiritual world. The manifestation of the marginal energy comprises the living entities. The manifestation of the external energy is the material cosmos. Therefore, the absolute truth includes these 4 principles. The Supreme Personality of God Himself, His eternal energy, His marginal energy, His external energy, the form of the Lord, and the expansions of His form as Swayam Rupa and Vibhava Prakha directly the enjoys of the internal energy, which is external. Could you scroll up some, please, Prabhuji? Prabhuji, could you scroll up, please? His internal energy, his marginal energy, which is the external exhibitor of the spiritual world, the most confidential of the manifestations of energy. The external manifestation, the material energy, provides the covering bodies of the conditioned living entities, from Brahma down to an insignificant ant. The covering energy is manifested under the three modes of material nature and appreciated in various ways by living entities in both the higher and lower forms of life. Each of the three divisions of the internal potency, the Sandhini, Samvit, and Hladini energies, influences one of the external potencies by which the conditioned souls are conducted. Such influence manifests the three qualitative modes of material nature, providing definitely that the living entities and the marginal potency are eternally servitors of the Lord and therefore controlled by either internal or external potency. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Prabhuji, back to you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So we were discussing about the three energies. The external manifestation provides the covering. So the jivas are covered by the external energies. That's from Brahma down to the ant. That's point is there. Yeah, actually, no, I don't feel any kind of qualified to go do any additional comments actually. So I'll just, if anyone else has any comments or additions, please add or enlighten. Okay. We'll read text 63. So we covered this purport, right? 63, anyone who wants to read text 63? Didn't get a chance today or yesterday. Anyone? Moksha Mataji, you want to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna all devotees, Sarvat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Text 63. Haladini Sandhini Samvedavya Eka Sarva Samstito Haladera Tapakari Mishra Twaina Guno Varjite. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O Lord, you are the support of everything. The three attributes Haladini, Sandhini and Samvit exist in you as one spiritual energy. But the material modes which cause happiness, misery and mixtures of the two do not exist in you, for you have no material qualities. Purport. This text is from Vishnu Puran, chapter 1, Canto 1, chapter 12, text 69. Here again it is quoted that we are the one who are bounded in the material modes of nature. Otherwise, it is Krishna who is covered by his internal potency only. And so that is only what I could understand in this translation. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So the jivas are covered with external energy, the conditioned souls, and that's the cause of their happiness, distress, or mixture. But the pure souls are covered with with the internal energy, Sandhini, Samvit, and Ladini. So they don't get influenced by the material modes because they are serving the external, internal energy. Mahatmanastu mam partha devim prakritim ashrita. They have taken shelter. They have chosen to take shelter of the internal energy of the Lord. Therefore, they're not succumb to this material tabernacle, what was meant using this word. They don't move in the cycle of birth and death, because birth and death cycle means covering of external energy. Okay, next one. Anyone wants to read?
Krishna Prabhuji. So I'm trying to understand the difference between the word, English word energy versus mode. So how do you differentiate these two words, like energy and modes? Like the Lord's energy is three types, like we're reading Shandini, Halladini, and Shambhit. But modes is, there's modes also, Shuddha Sattva, in the spiritual world. So this is two different things, right, Puji?
Yeah, mode is basically this Satogun, Rajagun, Tamogun, and Shuddha Sattva, or Vishuddha Sattva. These are the modes of Guna, right? The Sanskrit word is Guna. How do I give example of this too? When someone...
Character, Prabhuji, can I say character, like he thinks in the goodness mode, or he's thinking, or he's, that can be explained?
Yeah, everything is in different modes, as Bhagavad Gita explains. The food is in different modes. Food in the mode of goodness, food in the mode of passion, food in the mode of ignorance, and food in Vishuddha Sattva. Same as charity is in different modes, goodness, passion, ignorance. Similarly, one's words could be in different modes. One's mindset, one's character, as you said, everything, a place could be in different modes, right? One's behavior. So everything can be pretty much everything, actually. A place, surroundings, mindset, food, environment, the kind of words, the kind of habits, sleeping, everything. All the activities can be classified in this modes, or a mixture of these. So being entrapped in the energies, one acts in different modes. So there's a close link, actually. The great souls are under the influence of the internal energy, so they're acting in Vishuddha Sattva. The materialists are under the covering of external energy, so they're acting primarily in the modes of good, ignorance, and passion. So energy is kind of more kind of the hidden thing, right? It's less perceptible. All the modes are also kind of, you cannot see the modes, but so there is close connection, I feel, certainly. There is close connection, but they're a little different also. Kind of mind intelligence thing, we say sometimes. Mind intelligence, there's a next door neighbor, but they're very close. They both are subtle, but they are different also. The intelligence kind of, controls the mind. Similarly, I feel this energy is governing the modes also. If we are, completely, taken, in the temple environment, there is a lot of spiritual energy there. There is a lot of Bhagavatam reading, Bhagavad Gita chanting, and deities. There's a lot of spiritual energy. So for some time, that influence will remain. The guna will that be dominant, and one will not, a common person, a gentleman, one would not just, go and do bad thing after coming from a temple. But if the same energy, we go to a place, everyone is shouting, yelling, and so the energy over there is tamasic energy, right? So the mode of tamas is dominant. So one will do bad things after being covered with the tamasic energy or that environment. So both are subtle. Yes, Prabhu, we were speaking something.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I got some idea. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Any other additions anyone has or corrections?
Prabhu, Hare Kṛṣṇa. So my understanding is that the energies are Shakti. In Sanskrit, what is called Shakti. The Shaktis are part of the Shaktiman. Krishna is Shaktiman. So like external energy in Sanskrit is called Bohiranga Shakti. Then internal energy in Sanskrit called Antaranga Shakti. And then marginal energy in Sanskrit, it is called Tatastha Shakti. The Tatastha Shakti is the living entities, and internal energies are divided into three parts, which we are learning right now. Sandhini, Sadvit, Achit, and Haladini Shakti. And the Tatastha or marginal energy is the living entity, and the external energy is the external material world. And the gun, the modes are different. They are not part of Krishna. Modes are only present in the material world. Modes are not, the Sattva, Raja, Tamagun is not present in the spiritual world. So that's my understanding. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Prabhu, back to you.
So, Prabhu,
Prabhu, did you say something? I don't think it was audible. Can you repeat, please? Thank you, Prabhu. Prabhu, did you say something? It was not audible.
oh, so that just thank you, Prabhuji. Nice explanation. So, but still one guna is there in the spiritual world. That is the Vishuddha Sattva.
Yes, Prabhu. Vishuddha Sattva is in the spiritual world. Yeah. But in spiritual world, the other not there. Like Tamo, Raja, and Sattvagun is not there.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Very nice discussion. Let's read maybe one more verse for today. And, let's see. Anyone wants to read text 64? That's not yet read.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can I read?
Yeah, please, Mataji.
Dhanavad Pranam, everyone. Text 64. Sandhinir Sarangsho Shuddha Sattanam Bhagavaner Satta Hoy Jahate Vishram. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. The essential portion of the Sandhini potency is Shuddha Sattva. Lord Krishna's existence rests upon it. So here the discussion was the Shuddha Sattva is the essential portion of the Sandhini potency. That's what this is, the transcendental potency of Lord's existence, and that is exists in this Shuddha Sattva. That's what is explaining here. Back to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Kṛṣṇa. Thank you so much, Mataji. So existential potency. Sandhini is existential potency. So I know this is a tricky topic, especially for me, I feel. So I'll request some Senior Vaishnava to maybe come on Monday or Tuesday to enlighten us about these three. And we can also hear some other classes on these topics in the weekends and if you have time and energy. So it'll be good to, since it's there in Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta in great detail, so it'll be good to understand in more detail. Any other comments, any additions, questions, corrections? So we will pause here. It's almost time, so we'll pause here and continue with the next, maybe on Monday, because on Sunday we have His Grace Nityaṁ Prabhu speaking Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam class. So I humbly request everyone to attend. He's the GBC for Tampa and multiple other areas as well. So please take best of his association by engaging in Shravanam from such senior Vaishnavas and disciples of Srila Prabhupada who are giving their life and soul for the service, for the movement, to share this Krishna consciousness with everyone. So we'll pause here. Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki jai, Śrī Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaurava ki jai. Panchakalpatarubhyascha Hare Krishna, thank you so much, people.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you.